We are going to Bert. Bert Meerman is the driver of the Go Fair Foundation, together with Barend Mons, Eric Schultes. You saw all of them in that short video where we went from where we started in 2019 up to today. And Bert is our partner in the project. And Bert had had really two very important roles. One was to get us going. And so he deployed Eric Schultes. And so we started off with really a whole series of metadata for machines workshops. And that is from that is what really set us into the direction that we have gone. And the other task that Bert had was to, from the Go Fair Foundation, to accredit the work that we have done. And that is really important because now that fair is really something that everybody needs to do, the question like, well, do you live up to the use of the fair data guidelines was a really important issue for us to register. And so now that all the work was done, Bert, we sent you all of it, and you have gone through it in detail. And so I've now the big honor to give you the floor and to let us know the verdict of your analysis, Bert. And before I give you the floor, I should also thank you. Because one thing that has been really wonderful, and I hope it shines through the presentations a little bit today, is that there have been a lot of things to discover, a lot of issues to overcome, a lot of creativity really to deal with a big question and a very harsh reality. But one thing that happened was that we created a really, really nice community. And I hope you can see it. Everybody is attending here today. I can't even mention everybody. But one of the moments that was just one of the best moments, I didn't tell you, Susa, I've been going with people through my WhatsApp phone. Because one thing that was just amazing was that in Tanzania, Jeremiah, the colleague of Jeremiah, was deploying. And so he goes on the WhatsApp and he does a screenshot of this problem. So the first person who came, I think it was Nambobi from Uganda, no, you need to try and do this. And then another screenshot. And then you get Kawu from Nigeria. Well, actually, he was in Ireland, as you could see, with his hat and his... So it comes like, no, I think you should do this. Then another few screenshots. Then Mariam comes here from Leiden. I think that the problem is blah, blah, blah. Then you get K2, etc. It's just absolutely brilliant. And not something that I would have imagined, really, that we could have a community working together so well with such an interdisciplinary knowledge as well. And I'm saying that, Bert, because you are always there, week in, week out. We could see you there and you were following it and you were asking questions and you were giving us encouragement. So this is the time that I can really thank you for your enthusiasm, for being really our ambassador and for leading us through all of this this amazing project. So with that, I'm giving you the floor, Bert.
Thank you very much, Prof. Thank you very much, Miriam. And thank you very much for your kind words, not only for me, myself, but also for the Go Fair Foundation. I can honestly say that, you know, with a lot of enthusiasm, and I would say that we value at this moment this project as probably the best use case worldwide that we have seen in terms of the implementation of FAIR. I'm here with my colleague Erik Flickenschild, We are in another part of Leiden. That's why we could not be in your office, because we had back-to-back meetings. But with the entire team, Erik Flickenschild, Barend Mons, Erik Schultes also, we have really seen this as a fantastic opportunity also to implement FAIR according to these FAIR principles and according to some of these guidances. I would say that from the start in end of 2019 and 2020, we have as foundation given some recommendations also. And Obina, if you could show the next slide, then I can just go through it and touch a number of these points. First recommendation was, of course, to fully, let's say, follow these FAIR principles. And we've already heard by different speakers that that was done very, very well. A couple of other things that we wanted to see in this project was, of course, using the right model in terms of the semantics, the implementation of the FAIR data points to point to the metadata, the working on the metadata and the definition of the different metadata templates, ultimately also, let's say, fixed in those CEDAR templates that was already mentioned. And a very important part for us was also the transfer of knowledge. And this has been remarkable. If you see that in roughly over 2 years, we've been able to make so many people knowledgeable and enthusiastic about this concept. And if I listened a few minutes ago to Gay2 and to Samsung, you can see that, you know, they have really picked this up and have been running with that ball that we kicked in. So the transfer of knowledge has been maybe even more important, or at least as important as the outcome of the project itself. Also, recently we said that it would be good to that they make all these implementation choices within VODAN to make them explicit and actually publish that. And I've seen some very good work on that also. Now, all these recommendations were basically framed in one concept that we started with early, where we said the data needs to stay fully in control of the data owner. And this is so important because we see a lot of projects where this is not the case. And for us, this was very important that the data stays in control of the data owner. From that concept, we also built an MVP, a minimal viable product, and we tested this concept of data visiting. Gay2 mentioned it also. And data visiting is really where the data stay in place and the queries and the algorithms travel towards the data. They visit the data. And of course, we were very happy also with the help of Erik Flickenschild that we could on several occasions demonstrate that this was working in simple environment, but also in a more complex architecture that was shown. So I would say all very good. Obina, can you go to the next slide? So we basically looked at, you know, when you talk about qualification, endorsements, accreditations, we looked at a couple of things. And for this last report that we wrote, we actually concentrated on 3 items. We looked at the project implementation in terms of following the principles, following all the guidance that we had given, and we said endorsed, very well done. We looked at the knowledge transfer, and we actually counted recently that more than 30 data stewards in all kinds of different levels of knowledge were actually educated across almost 10 countries. So a great achievement. And the final thing was that we did not want to see VODAN as a project in isolation, but also to have it linked with other, let's say, health-related projects some of the things that we've seen here in Holland, like Health RI, for instance, or what some of the funders were doing in the States, like with NIH. So it's important that VODAN is also embedded in, let's say, other international projects that are taking place and that we all learn from each other. I think that's it. I can say that personally, I've been extremely proud of this team, and it was for us and for myself also a fantastic journey. And I thank you very much.
Thank you, Bert. And also thanks to Eric Flickenschild. Eric Flickenschild went from LMC to join the GoFair Foundation.